afternoon and welcome to episode 4 of Sunday Shorties. My name is Chelsea and I will be your hostess this week and every week to come. This is little Romy. You can't really see his face right now because he's taking a nap, but he is always my co-host. And this is little Lady Z, and she is always my second co-host. So today is Sunday, November 12th. The cool weather has come, hopefully, I think, to stay up here in Burlington, Vermont, which is a welcome change for me. I think this is the first episode that I haven't started sweating. So that's a nice change. Yeah, I don't have a ton to show you guys this week because I've been a very monogamous knitter. But I've got some fun Legacy Fiber Arts news that I will share at the end of the episode. And a couple of other fun things that I'll show you along the way, but yeah, nothing too pressing. So I am drinking some tea out of my Remembrances pottery mug that I love. Natalie is very talented. I even look at the detail here, right here, the seam. Tea just tastes better in something special, whether it's a teacup or a handmade mug. I don't know. I just feel like it makes the whole experience more enjoyable. So, okay, well, I should show you what I have in my lap. I just recently, as of last night, picked up my granny stripe blanket, which is made by crocheting. So you can see it here. Also, I'm filming this on a new camera, so if anything seems off or weird, just definitely leave a comment below and let me know. And again, I'm going to go through the tweaking process and make sure that we get the best results for you guys. But back to my blanket. So this is the granny stripe blanket. I started it last year. I'm not really a big blanket maker. I really like to pick these up when it gets cooler out, and when, you know how sometimes you just lose your momentum with knitting? Those are the times that I tend to pick up my blanket. And last night I was knitting on a pair of mini socks because I'm making baby socks for somebody very special. Not Lady Z, somebody else. But so after I had finished one of those socks, I was kind of just done with holding knitting needles. So I decided to pick up my crochet hook. And this is what I use. I use a C, which is a 2 to 2.75 millimeter hook. And I believe this is, hopefully you guys are able to see that. I can't tell if it's focusing or not, but. And I believe this is a Knitter's Pride. It has a nice rubber handle that I really like. So here, let me see, maybe if I do that. Anyway, so I definitely recommend these. Although I can't say I've used many crochet hooks anyway, so I wouldn't have much to compare it to, but I do really like mine. So yeah, and I'm using it out of all fingering weight scrap yarn. From all different places. Most of the time I don't even know what yarn I'm using, because what I tend to do is I grab a handful of my mini skeins that I have that were either gifted to me or that mom dyed, and I tend to make these magic knot balls. So this is the one I'm currently working on, which I really like. So yeah, once I turn them into these crazy balls, I kind of lose track of where they came from, but it's still really, really fun. I love it, and it's always a fun surprise to see what color is coming next, and I don't know, I love this project. That being said, I also really like my cozy memory blanket as well, which is a knit blanket. I don't have it out yet because I haven't started working on it. But that's another one of the blankets that I like to pull out in the colder months. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. Again, I always feel like I'm out of breath when I talk to you guys, and I don't know why. It's a lot harder doing it solo because you don't have anybody to talk back and forth with, so I feel like I don't have a break. But I just need to remember to talk slower because I do naturally talk pretty fast. So I'm just gonna take a deep breath, have another sip of tea, and catch my breath. Okay, so I'd love to hear from you guys. What is your favorite scrappy blanket to make? Is it a granny stripe? Is it a cozy memory? Is it something different? I would love to know like all the different patterns that are out there, because being knitters, I'm sure you all know, we tend to acquire a lot of small leftover balls of yarn, and there's only, you know, so much you can do with them. I mean, there's a lot you can do with them, but I'm definitely one that likes to put them in a blanket, because eventually, someday, years from now, I will have hopefully a couple of really nice blankets to be able to use around our house. So yeah, that's one of the things that I just pulled out that I just love looking at it. I love looking at the colors and how they play together. And it's funny because when you're holding it up close and you're working on it, you don't really realize where the colors pool. Like down here, it's super dark. And then there's definitely like more fluorescent pops. I don't know, I just think it's a really, really cool blanket, and it's really fun, and it's a good way to put the knitting down for a little bit and try something new. So I'm gonna leave it on my lap because I like looking at it, and I'll probably start working on it after I film. I think I was sitting on Romo's tail. Okay, let's see, what else have I been working on? Oops, I just knocked something off the couch. So I had mentioned that I have been knitting on baby socks for a very special little baby. And so this is the first pair that I knit. Hopefully, oops, I'll go down a little bit lower. This is out of Legacy Fiber Arts and We'll Make Snow Angels colorway in our cashmere base. And I had a good sized ball of that left from one of my projects. I don't remember what it was, but I thought it was a fun little, just a fun colorway, and really appropriate since it has gotten nice and cool out. So anyway, and if anybody is looking for a mini sock pattern, we do have one in our Ravelry group, the Legacy Knits Nerds. And it should be pinned to the top, I'm pretty sure. I had to reference it when I cast these on, and I think it was close to the top. But basically, you just use the same size needles you would knitting socks for yourself, unless you'd like a tighter gauge, and then I'd go down either a needle size or maybe even just a half a needle size. And you just do the same, like a vanilla sock pattern, which again, it's printed out in the group, but you knit it casting on only 36 stitches, which makes them fly. I started these yesterday, so, and I have a pair. So yeah, it's really fun. Or they're also really fun again for scrap yarn if you wanted to make a garland. I know a lot of people did that last year with our Advent minis, made a garland and then used it for Advent this year and put little chocolates in them for every day, or treats, or you know, whatever your choice of Advent surprise happens to be. So, and I'm going to be knitting 2 more pairs, hopefully, time willing. I want to have them done by next Monday or Tuesday. So I should be fine as long as I stay focused, but I want to knit them out of these 2 colorways. So this one is called Dream Phone, and this is one that I knit, or not that I knit, I'm sorry, that I dyed for Legacy Fiber Arts. I really don't know if this is focusing, so I sincerely apologize if it isn't. And then this, I believe, was one of the Skein of Thrones from our Skein of Thrones Yarn Club colorways. I believe this is Dragon Eggs. I don't know. This is going to be a big experiment, so I'm really hoping it works out well as far as the camera is concerned. So yeah, that's another thing that I have been working on this week. And they're fun, and they're little finished objects that you can just kind of whip off the needles, which is cool. Let me think. And then I would say the last thing that I've been working on, which I've been working on since probably a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, is my Roadtrip shawl by Kemper Wray, or Junk Yarn Designs. And it has grown to be a monster of a shawl, which I love. I'm super happy about that because I cannot wait to wear it. And the bigger it gets, ooh, just got Rommel with a needle. Okay, bud. He's unfazed. Because the bigger it gets, the drapier it gets, which is really, you can probably tell, it has a really nice bounce to it. I'm knitting this out of, excuse me. I'm knitting this out of Stress Knits yarns and her squishy base, and squishy sock base, I should say. Yes, okay. So the pink color up here is Sweet Disposition, and the mint color down here is called the Bell Jar. I believe it's Stacy's favorite book. If it's not Stacy, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I heard that on one of your podcasts. So this is beautiful. I can't remember if I talked about it in the podcast with Mom last week. I think I did, but there's a gorgeous halo too. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'm hoping you are. And the texture of this project is just really exactly what I've been wanting to knit. Because I've talked about in previous episodes how I'm kind of leaning towards neutral colors and textured knits, and this is a really good kind of intro into that for me. You know, it's not completely neutral, but it has a really nice subtle look to it. So yeah, it's a great pattern. It's very well written. I've knit one other of Kemper's patterns, the Color Field Shawl, the smaller version, and that was also a knit that was just like amazing and fast and intuitive, and her pattern writing skills are pretty amazing. So highly recommend you go over and look at her shop for patterns. And she dyes junk yarn, which I have not been able to get my hands on, but I've been dying to, so I need to really buckle down and get my hands on some of that, kind of stalk her shop updates. But yeah, she's very talented and she has a great podcast, so I'll put all that in the show notes for you guys to go over and look at. And same thing with Stacy. She has a podcast as well, Stress Knits, I believe is what it's called. I hope that's not just the name of her yarn. I actually don't remember. If the name of her podcast is not Stress Knits, I will put it on the screen here. I always just click on it and just don't even really look. So anyway, but yeah, you should check out her podcast as well, and her yarn, because it's just beautiful to work with. And then I'm decorating it with one of my super miniatures Progress Keepers. It's a little teacup that I got at the Needles Up event that we hosted at Rhinebeck this year. And I'm knitting this on size US 7s, so I went up a needle size because I knew that I wanted it to be a tad bit drapier than my normal fabric, and my normal fabric is typically pretty dense because I think I'm a tight knitter, but I also don't know because I've never compared it to any, I mean, it's just my gauge, you know. So anyway, I'm knitting these. I want to size up, so they're US 7s. They're high sharp interchangeable needles, and they're great. I like them because they twist, and actually my husband only knits with these because he likes the twist too. If the needle doesn't twist, he doesn't like it. So highly recommend. They're great needles. They're sharp. They're a great price point. And I have this on a 40-inch cord, and it's super bunchy, so you can imagine how big it's going to get when I can actually open it up. So anyway, this has been the project that has been, because it's almost 400 stitches on the needles now. It might even be more. So it's been taking up all of my time, which I'm happy about, but it stinks because I don't have a ton to show you guys, but that is a-okay because it's what I'm enjoying. So yeah, those have been my projects this week, and I've been loving them. And let's see, I feel like the only thing left I have to really chat about with you guys is some Legacy Fiber Arts news. We are going to be doing a Christmas update this Saturday, or I guess it is, yeah, I guess it's this next Saturday. I believe it's November 18th. Let me just double check it to be sure. Yep, November 18th, and we're gonna be doing that at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the theme is A Christmas Story, which is one of Mom's and my favorite Christmas movies. Hopefully you guys can relate to that. I know Justin absolutely despises that movie, so I know it's definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but I love it. It's one of my all-time favorites. So lucky me, I have some of the yarn to show you guys, because I did all the photographing yesterday, and yeah, we are ready to get you guys your Christmas yarn. And I am honestly going to be snagging some of these skeins because I want to knit with it so bad. It's going to be on all of our bases, and we're also going to be selling mini sets. So this is the very first colorway. Again, I'm really hoping this is focusing. I think it is. This is called Pink Nightmare, and the inspiration from this, or behind this colorway, is the pink bunny suit that Ralphie is gifted by his grandmother, I believe. If you guys have seen the movie or are a fan of the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But he calls it a pink nightmare. So, and I love this. It's a beautiful, I would say tonal and speckled as well. Pink, it's just pink. It is a pink nightmare, but it's a beautiful nightmare because, oh my God, look at this colorway. I just love it. I love it so much. I feel like I want it in cashmere because I feel like knitting a shawl out of it would be really fun. Even like a little mini shawl for the little girl that's growing inside me would be very, very cute. So that's the first colorway. Let's see. The second colorway is called, oops, this belly band is very loose. Let me get this back. There we go. The second colorway is appropriately titled A Christmas Story. The inspiration was well, I guess it was a little bit of everything. So it was Ralphie's blue eyes. It was the greens on the cover of the movie. It's the reds on the cover of the movie. There's a little bit of yellow in there. It's a hint of yellow for his blonde hair. It's really, really, I love this color. I think it's very well done. Oh God, it's not focusing at all. Oh, there we go. It almost reminds me of peppermint stick ice cream. Not just the pink one, but you know, you can get peppermint stick ice cream where it's green and pink. That's kind of what it reminds me of. So yeah, A Christmas Story. Let's see. All right. This one is called I Can't Put My Arms Down. And again, if you're a fan of the movie, you will need no explanation, but Ralphie's younger brother is put in a snowsuit and wrapped up literally from like the shoulders to the top of his head in this scarf as he's being sent off to school, and he's just walking around like waddling like this. And he says to Ralphie, I can't put my arms down. So that's what this is inspired by. And I am obsessed with this colorway. So this is, I Can't Put My Arms Down. It has beautiful maroon. It's really a very pretty maroon with navy, you can see there, and then browns. I love, 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 love this color. I love it. So this is I Can't Put My Arms Down. And then the very last one I love as well. So this reference in the movie is again very well known. This colorway is called Fragile, also known as Fragile. So Ralphie's dad does like giveaway or like sends away for gifts or something. I can't remember exactly why he gets this, but and he sent a leg lamp that has these fishnet stockings, and he's just so proud of this thing that he won or he was gifted. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he puts it in the front window. Anyway, when it comes in, when it gets delivered to their house, it gets delivered in a crate that says fragile across the front of it, and he says it must be French because the word fragile is on it. Guess he doesn't know how to pronounce fragile. Anyway, Italian. Yes, Justin just corrected me. It must be Italian, which is why it says fragile on it. Anyway, I'm doing an awful job of describing these scenes, so you should really just go watch the movie and figure out if you like it or not, because it's a really fun one. Anyway, this is called Fragile. Let's see. I think. And it is just this beautiful tonal yellow with black speckles. Very subtle black speckles though. You can kind of see all the way around. I want to knit a shawl out of this, so I'm going to have Mom dye me up probably 2 or 3 skeins in our cashmere base, and I'm going to find a really beautiful textured shawl, and I'm going to be knitting something out of this colorway because I love it. So yeah, and Fragile. So if you look at all of them together, this will be our Christmas update for this year. Hopefully you guys are a fan of the movie and can relate to some of them. But here they are. Here. Yeah, I guess I can just go over the labels. And we are selling mini sets. So you will get for the mini sets all 4 of these colorways in 20-gram minis. And again, I feel like they lend themselves really well to projects such as these. Or, you know, any scrappy blanket you can think of, really. So that's all the Legacy Fiber Arts news. Hopefully you guys are as excited about that as we are. Mom sent me the yarns because I just got this brand new fancy camera. And I wanted to take the pictures to post on Instagram and Etsy and all of that. So when I received the package from Mom with all of the skeins of yarn, I opened them, and this is our first time with me taking the pictures and putting them up and everything. So I never really get to see them before we start selling them or before I go home, you know, and they just happen to be around. I opened up this package and my jaw hit the ground. I could not believe how perfectly she had nailed each one of these colors. I mean, of course I can believe it because she's my mother and she's just like Superwoman, but I just love them. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm sorry. Now I'm even thinking, like, if you were to knit a road trip shawl with these 2 colors, I think we got it. There we go. I just think that would be absolutely beautiful. Sorry, you guys, I'm just really excited. So yeah, that's all the knitting that I've done. That's the crocheting I've done. As far as non-knitting news, I mean, not news, but we had a really nice quiet weekend this weekend. We got some stuff for the baby. We got drawers, so now all of our clothes are washed and folded and put in drawers, which feels so good. We finally have our living room back for the most part, because before, all of the things from our baby shower were just all over the ground until we found places to put them. So that felt really good. And then today we went for a nice drive. I have some beef stew in the crock pot, which we'll have for dinner tonight. We have some football playing in the background. Yeah, it's just been a really nice, quiet weekend. We even got our Christmas shopping done, which feels amazing. I mean, mostly we did that because we have to drop all of the gifts off on Thanksgiving because I'm done traveling. We're both done traveling. after Thanksgiving, just in case. You never know. If the baby decides to show up a little bit early, I would rather be home and be close to our practice. So anyway, we got our Christmas shopping done, which feels great. But yeah, other than that, we've just had a really relaxing week and weekend, and next week we're going home for the whole week, which is going to be nice. We're going to be able to visit with family and friends, again, for the last time before the baby's born. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to Thanksgiving. I cannot wait to eat on Thanksgiving. I love it. It's one of my favorite holidays. It actually, I say this about every holiday, but I'm pretty sure Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, mainly because it has the same feel as Christmas, but without the gift giving aspect, which gifts are great and all of that. And, you know, I like making people's gifts. Sometimes, depends on the occasion, but most of the time I'm a selfish knitter. But I like being able to go home and enjoy a holiday without having to worry about giving people things. It's more about spending time with people and just enjoying the good food and the good conversation. And I don't know, for me, that's always kind of been the best part of any holiday. So anyway, I ramble. But yeah, I hope you guys all had a great week. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'll be recording next Sunday because I don't know exactly when we're going to be going down to Connecticut. So it'll be a game time decision for me. But hopefully I'll post something on Instagram that'll let you guys know one way or the other, whether or not to expect an episode. But if I don't see you next week, then have a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family, and yeah, keep knitting. Make sure you have those knitting needles handy. Yeah, that's all I got for you. So I hope you have a great week, and we will see you next time. Oh, I always forget. Where are my needles? Like we always say,